So if you've been following my journey, you'll know that I have recently moved from being a mental health pharmacist to just a general Band 6 rotational pharmacist in one of London's biggest teaching hospitals. I'm so tired to the point where before I filmed this video, I sprayed perfume on myself. Like, that's how tired I am. That's how much I wasn't thinking, how my brain was not working. But I thought today I would bring you a video, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about my favourite OTC products. Now I know it's really funny because a lot of girls online on YouTube and stuff will be like, hey, this is my drugstore makeup haul. Well, I am doing exactly that, but actually doing a drug haul. And it makes me sound like a bit of a drug addict, but that's not the case. It's just telling you, you know, what I carry around, what I think is just like typical cool, like little items that work for me. I thought I'd incorporate a bit of knowledge, a bit of pharmacy, but also a bit of just non-pharmacy stuff in this video as well. So let's get to it. So obviously, yeah, I'm not sponsored. None of these companies sponsor me, unfortunately, but I'm totally open to it. So Lemsip, please contact me. But yeah, this video is not sponsored, it's just my personal opinion. And I want to state that in this video, while I tell you what my favourites are, it's kind of me telling you as a healthy, touch wood, normal 26-year-old girl, rather than a pharmacist. So before you buy any of these products, if that's what you want to do, then always speak to your pharmacist or doctor. See, I covered myself there. So let's just start with the star of the show, which is that typical, as you can see how much I've actually had it, Paracetamol standard tablets. I actually thought I had a full box of these, but clearly I've gone through them. But I will always carry a strip of paracetamol with me everywhere. Now this is your standard painkiller. In America, I think they call it, and in Korea they call it Tylenol, and they go by the scientific name acetaminophen. But here we just call it paracetamol, and it's just your standard painkiller. And I find that this has probably the least amount of interactions, even when you have a lot of conditions. It's just easy, and I think a lot of people underestimate this because they always think, oh, well, what's paracetamol going to do? But when we look at our pain ladder in the UK, we always say optimize the regime that you're on. So don't think, well, I'm already taking one tablet of paracetamol, so that should do me. The maximum is 2 500mg tablets up to 4 times a day. And so when your pain gets worse and worse and worse, we will encourage patients to go to that maximum before we consider the next step. In terms of just general headache pain and stuff, for me, I find that one tablet actually does the trick. I think, you know, I think I'm just under 50 kilograms now, or 50 kilograms, so I don't really need that much. But yeah, I just find it so handy. It's my favorite painkiller, and also it's an antipyretic, meaning that it can reduce fever. Oh, if you want to know how it works, the mode of action is still unclear, which is interesting because it's been around for that long. I mean, it's obviously unsafe in terms of overdose on the liver and toxic to the liver and stuff like that. But as I said, for your day-to-day, I have a headache, I want somebody to sort it out now, paracetamol is my go-to. Okay, now you know when you feel like you're getting ill? So this kind of ill is when your legs start to feel a bit jelly-like, you kind of feel a bit cold, you can just tell, okay, ooh, I can tell a fever is coming or something is coming. Well, in that case, I always go for my Lemsip. Now Lemsip is a sort of sachet form that you just put into warm water, they say. They don't encourage you to put it in boiling water. Basically what I do is boil the kettle, then I mix it with a bit of cold water, and then I'll put this sachet in. And I think this just does the trick. And it works quickly. It's in sachet form. It contains paracetamol, which is what we've already, you know, covered. It contains paracetamol and phenylephrine hydrochloride. So we've already covered paracetamol, it's a painkiller and it's an antipyretic. Well, phenylephrine hydrochloride is a sympathomimetic drug, which means that it acts like a normal compound, endogenous compound that like occurs in the body, and it has the same effects as those compounds do on the sympathetic nervous system, which basically reduces congestion, and so it helps clear up blocked noses. So how it actually works is that it's a vasoconstrictor, so it narrows the blood vessels in the nose, and so that improves the airflow in your nasal passages. And so with the two ingredients, the paracetamol being your painkiller, reducing fever, antipyretic, and then the phenylephrine helping with airflow of the nose. I feel like blocked noses are just sorted with this. And I don't carry this around with me, but I do always have a box at home. And my sister also takes this back to Korea with her. And we just, yeah, it's like one of those home comforts. You have it there. So when you just feel like, oh my gosh, something is happening, I'm about to get sick and I can just feel it coming, this tends to do the trick. I don't take Lemsip for really a sore throat, to be honest, and I'll move on to that right at the end. All right, so then we've got our non-steroidal, I can't even say it, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, NSAID, which is the ibuprofen. Now, ibuprofen is actually not my favorite painkiller. I don't really tend to go for this, but I do know that in terms of anything that involves inflammatory pain, it's good for. Like I said, don't take any of these drugs unless you've consulted your pharmacist and your doctor. But yeah, ibuprofen, it tends to be good for inflammatory pain. So that's like muscle pain. And I have heard, actually not even heard, but I know that it's good in a hangover. So they say in a hangover, there's some, like a concoction of drugs that you can take that will help in the morning. And ibuprofen is actually one of them, because you know you get like muscle pain. Well, you do at my age now. But this tends to help. And I know that you can get a bigger dose of this. So usually for adults, it's about 400 milligrams 3 or 4 times a day. But I just go for the 200 milligram tablets because I think that's enough. And yeah, I don't really take much of these, simply because, you know, NSAIDs aren't always good for the stomach, and you can get sort of, over long-term use, you can get ulcers and things like that. But I'm not saying you will, or that by taking 1 dose of this you will. I'm just saying that it's not particularly my favourite painkiller, but I do have this in stock. Also, putting it out there, this is, I don't personally use it, I use paracetamol, but for period pain, this is recommended. And the drug companies want to make you spend money, so they'll like come up with brands like Nurofen and Feminax Express. They are all ibuprofen. So if someone comes to me and they're like, well, I've got period pain and I want Nurofen, I'll always say, okay, how long have you had the pain? What other drugs are you taking? Blah, blah. And then I'll say, would you like the generic version, before I offer them the branded version. Now, my next favorite is actually Diorolite. So I know this is quite a strange one, but when I go on holiday to India, I will always take Diorolite sachets, because as you know, you eat something weird there, or you drink a bit of water that hasn't been boiled and then cooled down, and then you are on the toilet for a couple of days. And so this obviously really helps in terms of replacing the salts that your body has lost and the fluid that your body has lost during those difficult toilet moments. However, this is also part of the recommended hangover cure concoction. So you know, after you've had a night out and you drink a lot of alcohol, they say the trick to treating a hangover, right, is not to get up the next day and feel like shit and then take a paracetamol or whatever, but to actually solve it at night. Obviously not if you have passed out, but if you get home and you're like, okay, I can tell that I'm not really going to feel well tomorrow, then a hell of a lot of water and a sachet of Diorolite and a paracetamol or an ibuprofen before you go to bed is actually one of the rumours. Obviously I can't scientifically say that this is proven, but I can tell you from personal experience that after a night out, Diorolite and paracetamol kind of works for me. But yeah, whenever you feel like you've got, like after you've been sick, or if you've had diarrhea, or if you generally feel like, okay, I'm losing a lot of fluid, I need to replace what is being lost, Diorolite is your go-to. It has glucose, it has sodium chloride, it has potassium chloride, and disodium hydrogen citrate. Okay, so my next favourite is something that I've been taking recently, and that is these vitamin D gummies from Boots. They don't have to be from Boots, but I just got them from Boots. And I mean, vitamin D is, you need it all over your body for healthy immune system, for healthy bones, for healthy teeth. It kind of serves a purpose in your whole body. And in England, as you know, the weather is disgusting and we barely get any sun. And my pharmacist friend Maria recommended that I, you know, just take one of these a day just to make sure that I'm getting enough vitamin D that I don't get from the lack of sunlight in England. Clearly too much of anything, but also vitamin D is harmful. But yeah, I just think that if I'm not taking any other medication, I'm not getting much sun, so I kind of take these every day. In fact, I'll have mine now. They taste so good. They just taste like Haribo. These are blackcurrant. So now I'm moving on to my last favourite, which is Berocca. Now a lot of people already know about this, but Berocca contains all of the 8 B vitamins, and each of the B vitamins have some sort of function. So I know that B1 is helpful for releasing energy, B5 is for mental performance, and B6 I think helps you to feel less fatigue or something like that. But it's effervescent tablets, and you just put one inside some water and drink away. I don't drink one of these every day. It's probably once a week, because Berocca is actually quite expensive. But I feel like whenever I feel a bit tired, like today because my housemate was showering at 5 AM in the morning and I couldn't sleep and I got really angry, then I will take a Berocca, and it just kind of helps me feel a little bit more boosted. It is not a replacement for healthy eating or anything like that. It's just a supplement, so keep that in mind. Now, I know a lot of people will ask about simple cold and flu, and you can use the one that I've told you about, Lemsip, for a cold and flu. But in terms of sore throat, I have tried diphenhydramine during pre-reg, so it was about a year ago, and it was just one of those dry cough syrup things, I think. It made me really sleepy, and it didn't actually fix my cough in the long term. I think I had some sort of virus at that point because it just wasn't shifting, and I was just constantly coughing when I lay down and at night. No, it's not asthma. I just try and wait a cold out. So I'll just eat lots more vegetables, and I eat a lot more healthier than I usually do. And I try and think about greens, green foods, colourful foods like peppers, and honey and lemon, and that tends to do the trick. Now obviously if you are not feeling well for a long period of time, or you are immunosuppressed, or your immune system is not as up to point as it should be, then I'm not recommending that you wait it out. But as just a healthy, fit, young, not fit, but you know, just as a word, young person, I try to wait sore throats out. Obviously, if you're getting sort of mucus and phlegm and it's looking infected and you feel like you've got a chest infection or something, then please go to your doctor, as you cannot even get antibiotics over the counter. But just for a simple feeling a bit shit kind of cold and flu, wait it out. Definitely drink lots of lemon, lots of honey, and eat healthy. So I hope that you enjoyed my review of all of my favourite OTC drugs. I'm not a druggie, but I thought it would just be interesting because people do drug hauls, like drugstore makeup hauls, and I was like, you know, I'm going to do a drugstore drug haul. So I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know your favourites in the comments if you have any. And also if you have any questions, then let me know. I'm thinking of doing a Q&A to... I never really do a personal Q&A because this channel's not necessarily all about me. In the way that I'm not all like, oh guys, like ask me loads of questions about me. I'm usually asking you about pharmacy. But if you have any personal Q&A questions as well, I think I got a whole paragraph from someone last time, so I will be including some of those questions as well. But I think I'm going to film a personal Q&A to celebrate my 1 year of being on YouTube. So if you have any questions, then please write them in the comments below. And lastly, Instagram. So I recently just made a new Instagram, and on one of my videos, I said that there was a password. So I have locked my Instagram and made it private, and for anyone who wants to follow me and see what I'm doing, they had to send me a word, and a few of you did that, so that was so cool. It was so cool to see like that you'd seen the end of that video to find that word and you'd stayed. So I was thinking also I'm going to continue doing that. But I have decided that because I've recently moved to an acute hospital and I'm literally learning so much every single day, and I thought, how can I share this with my audience without annoying other people or without constantly making a new video? And I decided that what I would do is recruit the people who are interested in pharmacy. So, you know, find out who is interested in pharmacy and who's following me from pharmacy, and then add them to my close friends list on Insta stories. And in that close friends list, I will be releasing, you know, pharmacy related information. So during your day, you will be able to just find out some new facts. I thought that'd be like a really nice and, you know, intimate way of connecting and telling people, some pharmacy facts. So yeah, find the magic word in one of my videos to follow me on Instagram, and then just ask me to be added to the close friends list. Let me know that pharmacy is something that you want to know more about, and I will post on there the facts that I learn literally live throughout the day. So you will be able to follow my journey as a newly recruited hospital Band 6 rotational pharmacist in London. Okay, so I have finished work and I'm absolutely shattered, but I'm actually feeling quite good after filming this video. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!